Orale, Cholo Trucker, M.A.S movies and shows. And here we got Justified, City Primeval. Now, I was a huge fan of the original Justified, right? I did a video on it on another show you can binge watch, and it's definitely one that you can binge watch. The original took place in the state of Kentucky, and man, I love that show. It is one of my favorite shows of all time, probably my favorite. Man, it is just so damn good. Now, I understand if people do not have that show as one of their favorites. That's cool, I get it. I'm just saying my personal favorite. Um, I don't know. It's got to be somewhere up there. Definitely in the top five. I would say top three, possibly even number one. But here we got the return of Raylan Givens and Justified City Primeval. And I was a little bit, skeptical going into this. I'm like, okay, well, let's see what happens. So this actually takes place in the city of Detroit, right? So it's a big difference from it taking place out in the country of Kentucky to him now being in Detroit. Now, the show, now there is going to be a few spoiler alerts here, or a few spoilers. So, you have been warned if you have not seen the newest of Justified. So there will be some spoilers. So, okay, he's on a road trip with his daughter, and they just happen to go through Detroit. A couple of things happen when, actually, they're going through Florida. Looks like he's about to get robbed. They don't know that he's a U.S. federal marshal. Things get a little hairy. It goes, to the courts of Detroit. He's in Detroit now. They know he's in Detroit. They need a little help because some crime happens out there. And now he's put on the case, and now you're there. So they do a pretty decent job, man, in putting a story together on why and how he is in Detroit and how he's stuck in Detroit. And if you guys don't know Justified, with the character Raylan Givens, who's one of my favorite characters of all time. I mean, look, once the guy gets going, nothing else matters to him, except for getting his guy. Once the wheel starts turning to him, it's like, okay, now I have to get my guy. Right. So it's basically what happens here. It kind of sucks, man, because he has his daughter around and he's trying to do his job. And, he's trying to balance time with his daughter. And it's like, man, he's trying to get his guy, trying to figure out this case, and at the same time balance the relationship with his daughter. And it is a little bit sad. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit sad, especially when he has to, again, spoiler alert, especially when he has to send her away. It's like, damn it. It's like, shoot, that sucks, because that was supposed to be their time. And instead he got caught up with work. So, anyways, he's linked up with law enforcement there. As a matter of fact, one of his main partner on the show is Deke from King of Queens. I didn't realize him. He got a little older and he gained a little bit of weight. But if you guys remember Deacon, who is Doug's best friend from the movie, from the show King of Queens, the tall black guy, that's him. And I'm like, hey, that's who it is. It took me about 3 episodes, probably like in the 3rd episode, where I'm like, hey, now I know where I know this dude. And by the way, he does a really good job. So, yeah, they're trying to find out who killed the judge and the girl that the judge was with. They're trying to, they know pretty much who it is for the most part, but they're trying to pin evidence on him to really, stick it to him. Now let's talk about the villain for a second. The villain kind of reminds me of Boyd Crowder. If you guys don't know who Boyd Crowder is, then you probably did not watch the first Justified, because he was the main bad guy throughout the entire series. there were other bad guys, there were other villains throughout the series, but he was the main guy, right? So this one, um, he's somewhere along the line of Boyd Crowder, right? He's not like this super duper loud, crazy guy. I don't really know why they need to be showing this guy in tidy whities all the time. It gets a little disturbing to watch as a man seeing another man just walk around in tidy whities. It's like, what the heck, homie, you know? And then he's putting his legs up and the way he's sitting, it's like, hey, Holmes, come on, dog. Like, what's going on here, right? But anyway, man, I don't know. They probably put that there on purpose for you not to like him. But I'll tell you guys this. He is somewhat of a likable villain, right? Like I said, he's not really raising hell. He's not like super duper crazy like that, but he's crazy enough where nobody likes him. Even his allies, right? They don't like him. They're trying to get this guy off of them. They don't want to be dealing with this guy. They rather this guy just go away or die or something like that. Even the guys that he's messing with, even his chick, even his girl is a little skeptical of like, do I really want to spend the rest of my life with this guy, right? So he's kind of like almost like a loner, right? And then you throw in the Albanian mobsters in there. That comes in, I don't know, maybe episode 6 or 7, somewhere around there. This season is 10 episodes long. So Raylan's really trying to get this guy, though. The whole force that he's with is really trying to get this guy. And then he starts figuring out, hey, you know what? I think this guy's got somebody on the inside. Raylan Givens starts thinking that. And, you know, I'm not going to ruin that for you guys. Like I said, there are some spoilers. So I'm sure you guys are figuring out that, oh, man, maybe there is a mole in there. But all in all, look, Raylan Givens, who's one of my favorite characters of all time when it comes to television, he makes a couple of dumb decisions here on this one. There's a couple of things that he does where I'm like, I don't know, man. Why, Raylan? Come on, man. You're the cool dude, man. Like, he just strikes me as such a cool guy, right? And he makes a couple of dumb decisions. It doesn't ruin it for me. It does not ruin it for me, but it does make me scratch my head a little bit like, come on, Raylan, what's going on, man? Are you losing your touch? What's up, man? Now, I do want to talk about his love interest, which is a little bit of an oddball. Again, spoiler alert, he is the love interest is a little bit off for me. You know, I'm not, it's a biracial relationship. That's not the part that's off for me, because he did have a partner, and not a love interest in the original Justified. You know, a young black up and coming law enforcement marshal that I thought they would have made a good couple. You know, so it's not the fact that the love interest on this one that she was black, but the fact that she's, you know, a little overweight, a little bit older, I get it. Raylan is an older guy. I understand that, but he's got like young man tendencies. You know, he's, you know, thin, he's tall, he's still kind of like young at heart. I understand he's an older guy. I completely get that. It was just a little bit weird. That was all. It didn't throw me off like, holy smokes, what the heck are they doing? Like, nah, Charlie, dog. But it was just a little bit off. I'm just like, okay, all right. I think they could have done a little bit better with the love interest, but nonetheless, all right. You know, it didn't kill it for me. So look, overall, look at the very end, the way it ended between him and the main bad guy, I didn't really like it too much. I wanted them to draw guns. If you guys remember the very last episode of the original Justified, where he got hit from behind in the car, he spins around, he gets off, and he has a duel, right? I was kind of thinking, man, I watched that over and over and over plenty of times. I had it recorded on my DVR, and I've watched that sucker many of times, man, many times, because it's just that badass. And that's kind of like what I was expecting on this one, and we didn't get that. And what sucks is that there was a buildup, there was a lead up to that, right? I mean, the villain on this one, man, is over there calling out Raylan Givens, like, "What's up, man? How about you and I have a duo? What are you over there talking? What are you over here talking about the judge and the girl for? We're over here sizing each other up. That's what's up, homie? Draw your gun, I draw my gun, and we handled it." So there's this big buildup to it, and we never get it. Like, that's a little bit of a bummer, man. So now if you're expecting to see any of the old characters from the original Justified, don't get your hopes up, because you don't see them. You don't see them at all. Until, again, spoiler, here we go, until the very, very, very end of the last episode, which is episode 10. I'm going to say maybe the last 5 minutes or somewhere inside the 5-minute mark before the show comes to an end. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. But until then, that is when you see Boyd Crowder. If you guys remember, he was incarcerated. Boom. That's when they go to him. Now, I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. Okay, I'm going to just somewhat ruin it. So Raylan quits. He turns in his badge and he says, "I quit. I'm done. I'm going to spend time with my daughter." It looks like he's probably even possibly going to be, reuniting with his ex-wife, with his daughter's mom, just the kind of look that they shared and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And it looked like that's where it was going to end. And I was thinking, like, okay, cool. Justified is coming to a complete 100% end. However, they started showing Boyd Crowder with a few minutes left to go. I'm like, holy smokes. Okay, what's going on here? It shows Boyd Crowder, again, spoiler alert, it shows Boyd Crowder escape from prison. He is being transferred in a paddy wagon, and he escapes. Okay? And when he escapes, as Raylan is spending retirement on a boat with his daughter, his phone keeps ringing, and it's showing that it is Kentucky that is trying to get a hold of him. U.S. federal marshals trying to get a hold of him to let him know that his arch nemesis, Boyd Crowder, has escaped. Spoiler alert, he's just looking at it. It keeps ringing. It keeps ringing. It keeps ringing. And the show comes to an end. So do they leave it open for Justified to come back? Yeah, they do. Had they just left it with him heading off in the boat with his daughter, I would have been cool with that. If they didn't want to come back with the show Justified, I would have been cool with that, man. Because in all reality, I thought they did a good job bringing it back for this season, Justified City Primeval. I thought it was a good season. I did. I really loved the old Justified. And look, to be honest, man, even though I threw in a couple of complaints about this season where he's in Detroit, I'll be real with you guys. I love this season too, man. I thought it was really good. Do I love it as much as the old one? It's good. I don't know. I can't really say whether I do or don't, man. I'm just gonna say it is a really damn good show. If you really love the old Justified, I don't see why you wouldn't love this one. It's just it's a little bit different, but I really enjoyed it. I probably don't enjoy it as much, but it is really, really good. And if they were gonna end it right there, I would have been a-okay. But now they leave it open for another season of Justified. And a little bit of spoiler alert, it might be taking place in Mexico. Why? Because that's where Boyd Crowder said he's going. But that is my thoughts on the latest season of Justified. I like it. I enjoy it. If you enjoyed the first series of Justified, I believe you will enjoy this one as well. Maybe not as much, but it's definitely worth giving it a watch. Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. movies and shows. I'll catch you guys on next one.